Sounds good. Okay, love you. Bye. Oh, sorry. 1 minute, let me just get this text. Okay. So how are you? Oh, 1 minute. I have another text. Okay. I'm good. Hello. I am Lydia, as much of you guys know. I'm sorry. It's really bright out here, so it's either the glasses or I squint. So it's a beautiful August day, end of August. Summer is almost officially over. It's kind of sad. I know it's been a while since I posted one of my videos. I think 2 months already. But I'm back. It's been a busy summer. Crazy and hectic as usual. So I am on here today to talk about something that I would easily say over 95% of us are addicted to. Now you might ask what that may be, and some of you guys might already know. But the majority of the population is addicted to our cell phones or iPads or Kindles. We are all addicted to some digital screen that we like to call our social lives, that we can control our personal social profiles such as Facebook and Instagram and Snapchat. And oftentimes we don't realize how addicted we are. You might ask how we are addicted. So USA Today had posted an article back around 4th of July weekend on how we are all addicted to our cell phones and how to help with that. And why we are addicted to our cell phones is simply because of the pleasure it gives us. Yes, it's very true. It's just like any other thing that makes us happy. Whenever we receive a text or a notification on our phone, such as how many likes we got on a post on Facebook or a photo on Instagram or Snapchat back from somebody, the dopamine is a drug. It gets released in our brain and it makes us feel happy. So generally, we get addicted to feeling that happiness and we always want to feel it. So whenever we hear our phone buzz or ring, we automatically go to it to try and feel that happiness. And sometimes we don't receive texts all day long or likes on Facebook or notifications. So then we start scrolling, hoping to look for that happiness. But in the end, we often end up feeling depressed because we wasted how much time. And sometimes we feel depressed because we see how much everyone else is happy and we don't feel the same way, which it shouldn't be that way. Each of us leads our own lives. So going on, I did a little research at how much we actually use our phones. So how much would you say a person unlocks their cell phone every day? I personally thought off the bat 30, 40 times. Me, as much as everyone else, I'm addicted to looking at this thing for endless amounts of time sometimes. But the average person actually looks and unlocks their phone 80 times a day. 80. That's double than what I thought. And they calculated how many times somebody swipes their phone, whether they're looking on Facebook or whether they're on Instagram, swiping pictures or tapping pictures or Snapchat. And the number they came up with is 2,600 times a day. The average person swipes their screen. Now, I don't know about you, but that just sounds plain depressing to me. Like, can you imagine what we could do with that amount of time that we're swiping on our cell phone? What we could do to help others or show others or talk to others who need somebody to listen to? It's insane, but that's our society, and we're addicted to it. And I can understand why, because whenever I leave my phone, for instance, somewhere, my initial response is anxiety. Like, I have forgotten my phone at home a couple days for work, and I get to work and I'm like, oh darn, I forgot my phone. And my initial response isn't, oh, what if mom calls, or what if dad calls, or what if something's wrong? No. My initial response is, what if I miss out on a big event that's happening tonight that I forgot about? Or what if so much and such is canceled and I can't go and I'm just going to be the only one that shows up? Or what if some person texts me and I don't answer? We are all so addicted to the immediate response of answering something that it gives us anxiety when we're away from it. Now, some circumstances that we often get tied up into when looking at these things are, don't you love those situations where you just look up from your phone and you're like, what am I doing right now? Like, okay, let's be honest. Who all goes out to dinner with somebody or coffee or on a date and you're sitting there and you just have to look at your phone once and you're immediately hooked. You can't look away. Yeah. Everyone has gone into it at least once. And it's very difficult to look away. But when you are sitting across from somebody where you probably want to spend time with them, but you don't know how to communicate because our society doesn't know how to socialize in person anymore because we have these handy things to do it over the internet and through space. It is pretty cool, by the way. It is pretty awesome. You send a text from this phone up into space to a satellite, and then it comes all the way back down to the other person's phone that you're texting it to. And an amazing amount of speed. It's fantastic. But do we think about that every time we send a text? No. Oftentimes it just can't do it fast enough, right? But when you're sitting across from somebody, having dinner or coffee, even if that person is also looking at their phone, challenge yourself to put that phone down and talk to them. It doesn't take much. We socialized and communicated verbally for 2,000 years before these darn things came along. I don't think 5 years, or honestly probably 10 to 15 years of these things could change what we've been so used to for 2,000 years. It's insane. But our society is so addicted to these things, we don't know honestly how to put it into words sometimes, do we? Another time we often get caught up in our cell phones is when we're bored at work, looking on Amazon app, searching, buying things, I'm very well aware that I can be an Amazonaholic because I'm addicted to buying things on Amazon because it's so easy. Just think about it. You order it from your phone and it's at your doorstep in 3 days. No going to Walmart. No having to park the car and walk to the store and walk back. No having to deal with those really weird people sometimes that you find at Walmart. We're not going to go there though. Other times, awkward situations. So, per se, what do you do when you're meeting your significant other's family for the first time? Yeah, meet them, talk to them. Oh, and then I'm just gonna scroll on Facebook. Because it's awkward and I don't know these people. Or when you're in a huge crowd of people at a party. Oh, I'm not gonna look weird and antisocial standing here over by the bar, not talking to anybody. So I'm just gonna sit here and act like I'm busy on my phone, scrolling through, acting like I'm texting, talking to somebody. Yeah. We all get caught in that. So, this one might take a little bit to admit to, but you can do it. Because you're the only one watching this video right now by yourself, so you can't embarrass yourself. But, how many times have you sat on the toilet going to the bathroom and 15, 20 minutes later, your feet are completely numb because you've been sitting there so long? You look up from your darn cell phone because you've been scrolling on Facebook or Instagram. You're like, oh darn, it's been 20 minutes and I'm still on the toilet. Yeah, I've been there. And I know probably some of you guys have too. Don't bring your cell phone to the toilet. Because how many times, can you imagine explaining this to the Verizon person at the store? Yeah, I need a new cell phone because this one kind of drowned. Oh yeah, where? In the lake? Just drop it in a cup of water. No, I dropped it in the toilet. Because I was looking at my phone while I was on the toilet. And I accidentally dropped it in. Really classy. Really, really classy. Just don't take your phone to the toilet. You'll save a lot of time and your feet won't go numb. You can thank me later. This one is a big pet peeve of mine. Doctor's offices. Okay, I get it. You're in the waiting room. But when you are in a doctor's office and the doctor's coming to see you, for the benefit of your own health, will you please just put your phone down and talk to the doctor and tell him maybe the problems that you've been having. Maybe he can identify what they're going on instead of them going out of control and then you end up in the hospital later. Or, this is the biggest pet peeve of mine, is there's a 5-year-old kid sitting in the doctor's office and there's his mom scrolling through Facebook, playing some Candy Crush, because apparently her Candy Crush score is more important than a 5-year-old that may have laryngitis or bronchitis or pneumonia. Yeah. No. Put your phone down. Other times, in bed. Yes. How many of us have our charging cord on our nightstand right by our bed? And yes, I totally understand. It's my alarm clock. Yeah. Okay. There's also $5 alarm clocks that don't send off radiation or noises every time you get something during the night. You may ask, why do I have sleep apnea? Or why am I just not sleeping right? Because these things are constantly turning on your brain in your head while you're sleeping. Your brain can never stop because it hears this thing. When you are awake, your brain does the same thing. But you're awake, so you don't realize it. You really don't realize it when you're sleeping either. But your brain automatically says, oh, notification, oh, notification, oh, notification. And sure, you don't possibly wake up. If you do, then you have a serious problem. But like, I don't wake up every time I hear a notification, but my brain still is taking that all in while I'm sleeping or trying to sleep. And I never get my REM sleep. And then I'm super tired the next day and need 3 cups of coffee to get through it. I heard a challenge by a guy someday. It was like a Facebook video or something, I don't know. And he was on some kind of show and he challenged everyone on the show and everyone watching. Charge your phone at night in the living room. Go to bed without your phone. Now, a lot of people would be like, no, I can't do that. Somebody might be dying in the middle of the night and need me. Okay, how many times have you taken your phone to bed and somebody has called you in the middle of the night because they're dying? Personally, none. Or, the world's gonna end tonight and I just need to know about it the instant it happens. You're gonna be sleeping. I don't think anybody's gonna have time to text you or think to text you when or the world is going to end. No. I can guarantee tonight is probably not the night that the world's gonna end. And if it does, say your prayers and you'll be fine. And plus, looking at your screen at midnight because you can't sleep, why you can't sleep is because you're looking at the darn screen. But looking at the screen in the dark at midnight is horrible for your eyes. I can't wait to see the eye problems that we're going to see in about 20 years. Everyone's going to be going blind. Everyone. Or macular degeneration or need bifocals at the age of 25. I can see it. And the first thing we do in the morning, what do? Reach over for our phone to see if anybody texted us. Okay, I get it. First thing in the morning, you have to look at your phone to make sure nothing has happened. But you don't need to be doing that in bed. Believe me, I'm very guilty of that. Oh, I'll wake up at 6. Okay, I woke up. 6 o'clock, scrolling on Facebook or Instagram. 20 minutes later, I have 10 minutes to get ready for work. What would happen if I got up 20 minutes earlier when I actually woke up instead of sitting there timelessly looking at something stupid? I would have probably a lot more time and probably would actually look more presentable for the workday. And the biggest thing I think nowadays is we are getting a new generation that have solely lived on these things, or iPads, or Kindles. And that generation is now like 10, 12 years old, and they don't know a life without these things. Kids who are starting to scroll on iPads at 6 months old or a year old and know everything about that thing better than sometimes their parents do, because they learn a lot faster. That's great. Your kid's smart. He knows how to do this. But what happened to playing with sticks and stones? Honestly, that's what I grew up on. I did not have a cell phone until I was 18 years old, entering college. And looking back now, I don't hate my parents for not giving me a phone. Honestly, they're very stressful. They present a lot of anxiety and stress in my life, personally. Because because I always got to know the latest updates. But why? Because we always want that pleasure. We always want to know what's going on with everybody else's business. What's that old saying? Mind your own beeswax, aka business. I think our society needs a little bit of that. So what would happen if we were to leave our phone behind some days while we go to work? Oh, what if I die? What if I get a car accident? My mom I will always remember her saying this. I was probably 15 and cell phones were coming out, and I was like, Mom, we should probably really get a cell phone, because what if our car did break down? A lot sometimes. What if we get stuck on the side of the road? What are we going to do? She's like, oh, just go up to somebody's house and ask them for a phone. Now, okay, 15 years old. I'm one of 8 children, so we had a bus. So, seeing a bus break down on the side of the road, and then having to think of all 8 of us children and my mother walking up to any random house and asking them for a phone because we do not have a cell phone and our car broke down. Yes, kind of embarrassing, especially for a 15-year-old. And, sorry, plane. Yes, I live right behind the airport. Anyways, I thought that was nuts, that she didn't want a cell phone. But to this day, she still does not have a permanent cell phone, and she does just fine. Nobody has had to pick her up on the side of the road, or she has not been kidnapped. We survive without phones. Like I said, we did for 2,000 years. And honestly, those days that I forgot my phone at home when I go to work, my days are so peaceful, relaxing. I'm not like, oh, I need to know this, this, and this. No, we don't. We don't have to know immediately everything that's going on right in that moment. We don't need that. Now I realize I'm probably looking at myself in the glasses. I just honestly realized that. That's kind of funny. Anyways, I amuse myself sometimes. So, I challenge you. 3 things. Do one of them at a time. But 3 things. 1, when you are spending time with somebody, whether it be a date, whether it be your best friend that you're just meeting out for coffee, put that phone down and talk to the person. It doesn't take much. I guarantee after 5 minutes, you'll understand how to speak again and communicate to another human being verbally. 2, charge your phone in the living room and leave it out of the bedroom. 1, I think you're going to be able to sleep a lot more. And 2, your eyes are going to thank you later. And number 3, pay attention to those around you. And whenever you feel like you're getting caught up in the swiping thing, just stop. It's the easiest way to cut addiction. Just stop. Because honestly, when you're swiping and you're looking at Facebook and 2 hours later you will look up at the clock and you're like, oh my goodness, what did I just do? How do you feel after those times? Oh, I did just an amazing thing. I am so happy with what I just did. So pleased with everything that I just looked at. No. Half that time, like me, I'm looking at those happy people and thinking, I want that life. I want that thing. Oh, there's my next Amazon purchase. No. we get more depressed. Honestly, personally, I think that's why we have so many depression problems in this world, especially among teenagers. Because they're always looking at the next biggest thing. They're always wanting the next greatest thing, when the greatest thing is right there in front of them. It's themselves. So, just stop. That's all you need to do. Just stop. And 2, actually this is number 4. This is a plus. Talking to people, texting, yeah, it's nice. But sometimes, make an initiative and call that person and talk to them. You might know some people that you can only really talk to on the phone, like your grandma or your mom or dad. But what about calling your best friend? Personally, when I was younger, that's all I knew. Spend an hour or 2 on the phone with my best friend every day. It was awesome. So, it was nice talking to you. Good luck with your challenges. And I hope you all have a splendid rest of your summer, the last week of it. Love y'all. God bless. Bye.